Lisa, Paul, thank you so much for having me to Art Farm. My ADD is going a little nuts because there's so much to see, and you guys are so interesting, so we've been chatting. It's been amazing. Let's talk about your artistic journey. Have you always known you were artists?
I guess on some level, yeah. I didn't think, oh, I'm going to be an artist for a living. It just sort of evolved, I guess. I had this collection of old vintage soda bottles that I loved, but they just sat around, and we were like, what do we do with these? And I worked a lot with wire, and we were like, oh, well, what if you like put, did like a wire thing around there, and you can hang it on the wall, and then it's functional, and and that just kind of kicked off this whole crazy thing where
so the
we
mission
are
was
now.
born.
Right, and then it evolved. It just evolved over
almost
20 or 25 years now as an independent artist.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
I know,
guys
it is.
take found objects and you make them into art, but not just art, functional art.
Yeah, mostly functional. Yeah.
Okay, where do you source all of these? Again, I can't, like, where do I look? Where do your eye can't land because it's just so, it's like an antique store, but so much cooler. I can't. So where do you source it?
Well, we've been sourcing it for a long time.
Even before we made found object art, we just liked buying cool stuff at garage sales, and it was getting full up here.
Yeah.
We're like, we got to get rid of this stuff, stop collecting, or and then it came into our artwork.
Yeah. So estate sales, garage sales, thrift stores, antique shops.
The good old flea markets when they were good back in the day.
Yeah.
There's cool stuff.
Now, when you go to these estate sales, flea markets, etc., do you see an object and like immediately have an idea for what it's going to become, or do you just go, that's cool, I'll take that?
Both.
Okay.
Yep. Sometimes it's like, oh, that would make a perfect this.
Yeah.
Or this weird thing is really cool. I have no idea what's going to happen with it, but I
Right.
have to take it home.
Yeah.
And we'll know when we get there.
And she came up with the term we're detail thrifters, because we were buying everything, and then we're like, no, we can't just keep buying everything. We got to have a purpose.
Yeah.
So that's.
Now, do you have to
fine-tune it?
Do you each find a purpose for your particular things, or are you in it together looking for those things? I'm so interested in how you work independently and as a team.
Yeah, I'd say it's a little bit of both. I mean, a lot of times he'll, like if we have a commission for something, he being the engineer is really good at figuring out like the connections and things and how things kind of need to start, like the base.
Yeah.
And then I have the spatial, color, visual component of, okay, well, we need something blue here, or we need, this shape to happen here.
Give it balance.
And
a lot of things will set around,
just
like the pieces all over the studio. They'll be half built, and she may come out, take them apart, put them back together. And so it's each piece kind of just evolves to a point where like, oh, it's done, and then.
And you have that moment, because a lot of artists I talk to say, I just don't know, especially painters, I just don't know when to stop. I don't know when enough is enough.
Oh, yeah.
But you guys know.
Well, I'm a total detail.
Yeah.
I'm a detail freak, so I will
It's
get
got to be
like,
done at some point.
So, at some point it has to be done. But I'll get to a point and I'm just like, okay, you need to stop, because now you're just no one's.
Now your pay rate's going down.
Right.
Down,
You're like,
down.
you're not going to get paid for all of it.
What do you each love to make the most? Or does that change? I imagine it changes.
Yeah, it evolves.
Yeah.
It does.
The found object sculptures are super fun.
Yeah.
Of any shape and size.
Yeah, the sculptures are really fun. You're taking all these bits and pieces and you're creating kind of a little like being sort of, you bringing it to life, like you're adding legs and arms and, some weird thing for a head. And, but it becomes animated.
Yeah.
And all the things that we work with, because they're all coming from a previous life, they all have an energy already, they have their own story. And so we are then putting a new story on it. We're combining all these things. And you're working with it and you're like, they've been in someone's home, they've been used for, who knows how many things, like, the old hammered aluminum serving trays that were like the popular wedding gift of the 50s. I love them. Somebody somebody hand tooled that and made the pattern, and then sometimes they'll have a little sticker on the back with the name of the person, you know, because you took it to the party.
Sure.
And everything has an energy when it comes to our studio already. So when you combine all those things, everything has like a new energy now, a new story to it. And I love it.
This thing is not quite done yet, you know, but it'll sit on the shelf for show after show after show. And then all of a sudden somebody will see it and you're going to see it in their eyes. It's like, God, I love this. And then they'll come back and they'll buy it. You know, they buy our goofy little sculpture, but they're so happy. And then sometimes we'll get a picture like that same day. They're like, here's where it goes. And they put it in this perfect place. And
so it finds the right home.
Right. And we feel really good about it when it finds the right home.
Yeah.
Because our energy's in there too.
Of course.
So, and to sell to somebody that's like, why is it so expensive?
Yeah.
Or blah, blah, blah. It's like, we don't want you to have it.
Yeah, of course.
I want you to take it home happily.
Yeah, that's part of the struggle, I think, with working with found objects is people come into the booth and they see all these familiar things that they have at home and they think, oh, what great ideas. Oh, I'm going to go home and do that. And, you know.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, good luck.
I tell people, here's my card, send me a photo when it's done. Because I think if we make it look easy, then we're obviously doing it well.
Right.
And so that's part of the struggle. So it's always a joy when somebody truly understands what went into making that, you know, finding the parts, coming up with the idea, attaching it all, making that end sculpture. And it's very exciting when people understand it and they will pay you for your work.
Do you have like a moment of, oh God, it's this beautiful tray and it had this life, and you almost hesitate to give it a new life?
Oh gosh, all the time.
Yeah,
oh
as you're talking about the tray, I'm like, no, but don't.
No, you don't know how many things sit around here because they're so cool.
Yeah.
I'll quick drill a hole in it.
Can't
When she's not looking.
Can't deconstruct it. Like there's just so many things that you know, because I cut up old tins to make jewelry. I mean, here's you know, evidence of that.
Yes, and oh my gosh.
But some of them are really beautiful. They have really beautiful patterns, and I think, I can't cut it. But finally, the first cut's the hardest.
Yes.
But then I'm good to go.
Yeah, then you're good to go.
Do you have certain materials or certain found objects specifically that are easiest to work with? Is it the metal? Do you find, I see down here, a bunch of bowling balls, which I can't imagine are easy to work with, but is there something that you go, oh yes, that's what I love to work with because of the ease of it?
Yeah, I mean, because everything is cold connected. So it's drilled through and it's bolted or screwed or riveted in some way. So wood obviously is easy and it's easier to drill through. Metal is a little tougher. You know, when you get into brass is hard to drill through, especially if it's very thick. He's figured out how to drill through the bowling balls, but it's not an easy thing to do, but he's got it figured out.
It's a little tricky, but But you know, a lot of our staples, like croquet sets and billiard balls, just seem to always end up, and the bowling balls, they just work so perfect in the stack, and they look precarious because you got the small ball. But they're solid, but
we did some commissions, like during the pandemic was a great time for us to do commission work because usually we're really busy with art fairs.
Yeah, a lot of our clients came out and supported us too with commissions. And
oh, amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
We did lamps. The first one was a lamp from a bassoon. And then she had us do one with an oboe. She's a retired oboe player with the Philharmonic. And then someone else with the Phil saw that and said, well, can you do one with a cello? So he brought us a 3/4 cello,
right? It was pretty.
I was like, that's a challenge.
It was a challenge.
So Mr. Engineer, got it all figured
you
out.
can still play the cello, and it's a 3/4 cello. So it's a floor lamp, but you can still play it, and it spins around. Because, you know, I couldn't put the cello in compression.
Yeah.
Right, the cello had to kind of float.
It's pretty cool.
So there's a lot of, there's a lot of engineering. I mean, the arts may be, you know, down here in the schools, but let me tell you, you use all of these things, you know, math and science and all these things to figure it out, to put it all together.
STEAM all the way.
Yeah.
We advocate for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, when you look at a piece, like you're given 3/4 cello, is it is it daunting to try to figure out how to make that into art, or?
Oh yeah, the cello sat on that table there for a long time. I just pick it up and be like, how am I going to do this? Because once I drill that first hole,
Exactly.
I hope it doesn't split or fall apart, or I don't know what's
Yeah.
inside a cello. I mean, I know what's inside a cello.
You're
but-
committed.
Yeah, exactly.
and then you just go for it. At one point, you're just like, I got to do
Okay.
it.
Yep.
And it
Wow.
worked out most of the time.
So, are you ever amazed that you found each other?
Yeah.
Like, I look at you two and I'm like, this is the perfect pair. And when you look around, like, the life that you've built is
exactly it,
so cool.
Yeah.
And it could only happen if the two of you came together.
Yeah, I think
It
we're
is
pretty
kind of
lucky.
amazing.
And the funny thing is we grew up in Waynedale with Maplewood School in between us, but she's 5 years older than me, so we didn't know each other, but we grew up like less than a half mile from each other, and,
Right.
and met when I was late 20s and
Early 30s.
So it's not like we knew each other as children, but we met.
But we grew up in the same neighborhoods.
Yes.
You know. Yeah, I know. That was kind of.
So yeah, it's pretty interesting that we ended
Yeah.
up and
I went to different schools, so we didn't. There was
Sure.
no crossover.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny when you said about making a life, because when people ask us, you know, well, do you make a living? You earn a living doing this? And I said, no, we make a life. Yeah. That's exactly what I say, because like, well, yeah, we pay the bills, you know.
Yeah.
We're rich in quality of life. You know, to do something that you love and get paid for it, it's the best. Like,
Yeah.
we're super lucky and we know it.
Yeah.
Well, we worked very, very hard to get here, too.
Sure.
I mean, it doesn't happen in a vacuum.
Of course. You guys, I think that your art, your relationship, your life is #goals, as the kids say.
thank you so much.
I mean, it just the energy you mentioned is so good here. So I hope you invite me back sometime,
you.
because
Yeah,
I'd love to come hang
absolutely.
out.
Yeah.
Thank you for all that you do for creating such beauty with things that already exist. You are gifted. So thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for your interest and for coming out.